Friday came another big jolt for India that punctured the claims of the Modi government over economic growth. While the government keeps looking at the other side or keeps dodging the questions over economy, the state of economy is spiraling downwards. The GDP figures as announced on Friday are 4.5% for the second quarter. For the first quarter, it was 5% and it came down to 4.5%. This at a time when Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi does not stop boasting about his ambitious $5 trillion economy target. The Defence Minister of India Rajnath Singh has in fact said that India will achieve $10 trillion economy as if it's fancy to quote the higher number. But what we are going to talk about today is data and how India is increasingly being looked at suspiciously by the global community in this manner. India's latest GDP figures are 4.5%. While the numbers are in themselves not fancy, the major concern is whether these numbers are even real. And these concerns are not unfounded. India's data accuracy has been in question for quite a long time now. The government is accused of suppressing, at times hiding, the data that may show a gloomy picture of various economic indicators. Take for example the data on jobs. Somay Jha, a journalist with the Business Standard, broke the story that India has been withholding the unemployment data which the leaked NSSO report reveals. According to the National Sample Survey Office's periodic labour force survey, country's unemployment rate stood at 45-year high of 6.1% in 2017-18. The report was at the centre of controversy after two National Statistical Commission members, including acting chairman, resigned, alleging that the government had withheld its release despite the NSC's approval. Now, following this, a group of 108 economists and social scientists questioned the credibility of India's official data. Finally, the data was released by the Labour Ministry on the day PM Modi and his cabinet took oath of office for the second term. This confirmed the findings of the leaked report. The criticism was that the Modi government waited till the crucial Lok Sabha elections were over to release the data. But that's not all. The row over India's GDP figures started long back in 2015 when the Modi government decided to chuck the old method of calculation and adopted a new method called MCA21. For this, the base year was moved from 2004-5 to 2011-12. In May this year, the NSSO questioned the GDP figures which are released by the Central Statistical Office, saying that the database used is riddled with gaps. It says out of the total companies included in the database to calculate the GDP, 39% were closed, untraceable or misclassified. Even the former Chief Economic Advisor to the Modi government, Arvind Subramaniam, said that India might be overestimating its growth. He said this has been going on since 2011-12. He said that India is overestimating its GDP figure by 2.5%, and this means if India claims the growth of 4.5% in quarter 2, the actual growth might be just 2%. This is a scary picture for an Indian economy. The question have been raised on the new methodology as well. To understand what is the debate on old GDP calculation method and the new one, follow the link given in the description. Even the International Monetary Fund has given a rap on India's knuckles, expressing about delays in the release of economic and financial data by the Indian government. It said that India failed to comply with the prescribed special data dissemination standard, a practice which is mandatory for all IMF members to guide them in providing their economic and financial data to the public. Even the opposition has asked questions as to why the Modi government is chucking the uncomfortable data.
Spokesmen of the government have come out with a new theory. When the figures don't look good, they debunk the figures. When the statistics are uncomfortable, they discontinue the publication of the statistics. But today, there is a new theory that I read in the newspapers on behalf of the government. A very senior economist says, these figures don't pass the smell test. What? So what is the smell test? I don't understand. Are we now going to smell numbers?
Sniff around.
And are we going to say, these numbers smell good, and therefore we'll accept it as gospel? These numbers don't smell good and we will reject it. This smell test approach to economic management is really extraordinary, sir. And it has come from a former member of the Prime Minister's Economic Advisory Council. So therefore, I must treat it with a great degree of seriousness.
But the government did not stop at that. Apparently, it also tried to suppress a report that showed that India's consumer expenditure fell down to 4 decades low. The survey was conducted 8 months after demonetization exercise and during the GST rollout. So, how do we believe the latest GDP figures? Is it 4.5% or 2%? Do let us know in the comment box below. For more news and updates, you can log on to www.hwnews.in. Now, you can also download our HW News app on your Android Play Store and Apple Store. Also, do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.